Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to New York State Music in Motion here, where we interview New York State artists. We are back for season 3. Thanks very much. I'm your host, Frank Palangi, and we're going to get rocking.
This season, we are sponsored by the Helpin' Friendly Salve, an all-natural herbal extract. You can check them out at thehelpinfriendlysalve.com.
Provides live music fans with a way to meet and support the latest upcoming artists in the Fish, Grateful Dead, Disco Biscuits, Twiddle, and Goose scenes.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to New York State Music in Motion. What's going on today? We got Chanda Dewy in the building. She's from Glass Pony here. I read she's from New Zealand somewhere. Is that correct?
Not exactly correct. I'm from Fort Anne, New York, so upstate.
No way.
But
I swear on the website it said New Zealand.
Yeah, no, I did that to look a little bit cooler, I guess. No, that was like that whole bio is a little bit of a like a joke kind of thing, but
so
an
Fort
oyster
Anne.
shell. Well, born off an oyster shell. In an
Okay.
oyster shell off of New Zealand is what it says. But yeah, Fort Anne, upstate, like farm girl originally, a small town kind of thing.
Oh yeah, I'm from Queensbury, so not too far away.
Oh, cool. Nice. I didn't know that.
Well, where are you now? Are you still there or are you somewhere else?
No, I live in Delmar now, so right outside of Albany.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
What made you move down there?
School. I came for college and
Oh, okay.
stuck around. Yeah.
Are you still
It's a
in
good
college?
spot to be. No, I'm not. I've been out a few years now. I'm not gonna like date myself, but it's been a little while.
That's all right.
But yeah. So, but no, I think like Albany's a great scene, and I love like the music around here and like all the bars and everything. So it's like I was happy to stick around. I love the North Country too, but yeah.
Well, there's
good
not
here.
as many venues for bands, I have to say, up here. If you're a cover bar band, there's quite a few of them. But
Right.
if you're doing originals and stuff like you guys are, not so much,
Right. It's good to have the hub, and then you can like, go off from there. So
Yeah, because I feel like from Queensbury, I got to drive an extra 45 minutes to go anywhere. It doesn't.
Are you still in Queensbury? You
Yeah.
like live there now? Nice.
Yeah. It just doesn't work as well when you're traveling, I guess.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it's only like 45 minutes an hour extra. It's not too bad.
That adds up though if you got to travel that extra all the time back and forth. And it's like that's 2 hours a day. Gone. So, I know you're a drummer, right? So what inspired you to start drumming? I don't see a lot of female drummers. They're around for sure, but
Yeah.
I've never
No, they're
talked with
there.
one, so this is new territory here.
Well, what inspired me to I wanted to do something since I was younger. I've been in like high school band, elementary band, and I've always been really into music.
Mhm.
So I've always had that. But as far as drums go, I didn't start playing drums until almost like 6, 7 years ago. So I was an adult when I started playing. And what inspired me, I started playing guitar and drums around the same time. And drums are what stuck for me. And I think it's just like I think I've always been into like listening to the rhythm and all that. Like that's just kind of like where I've been at.
Yeah.
So, and versus like some people like are lyricists and all they hear are the words and the vocals and all that and remember all the words. That's like not me, and I wish it was because that's like such an important part. But like I'm like down at the bottom listening to the groove and all that.
Yep.
So I started playing drums and that's what stuck. I did try a few things and now I'm
The
here.
rhythm. Well, that's the most
Yeah.
important. The drums, man, they make or break a band, a recording, and anything like that. You're the foundation of the whole thing. That's what I think. Drums are most important.
They're the foundation, drums and bass, because if you have one's a little off, they go together. But
Yeah.
for sure, they're holding it down.
Yep. So I know I read you guys do a lot of improv on your sets. So do you stick to like the CD version, and then do you take away parts, or do you keep going at certain endings?
Yeah, so it's both. Usually, and a lot of songs will stick to the album version and kind of jam in the middle,
Okay.
right? And like take that out and go all over from there. And then usually we'll end up at like the tail end of the song. So we'll album version, jam, album version. but that's not like a set formula either. Sometimes but the guide is the album version usually. But
Okay.
then we have a lot of songs that aren't on an album, you know, so it's still kind of work in progress for hopefully an album down the line. But
Yeah. Yeah. That's not always a bad thing to try something out, and sometimes you're like, yeah, I think that worked, or no, let's not do that again. Do
yeah.
you
Oh yeah,
realize
you
that?
definitely like get the growing pains out of the way before you're recording, you know, like you realize what you
Yeah.
like, what you don't like, what guitar parts work and not, and that kind of thing.
Yep. There's like some parts too where you're still like, especially new songs that haven't been recorded. You're like, sometimes you reach a part, you're like, I don't know what to do for that part. Like, there's no set thing to do, so you're always doing something different.
Hmm.
And it's interesting. It's interesting. What's your favorite song to play live, you guys?
To play live. Oh, right now we have a song called Bottom of the Ocean,
Okay.
and I really like playing that a lot. And that's actually that doesn't have a lot of jam in it right now. We just started playing that. Eddie Hotailing, our one of our guitar players and songwriters, he wrote this song about COVID. So this is his token COVID song, you know?
Okay. Okay.
And we just haven't really jammed it too much, but it's got this like cool key change thing in the part that we do play, like at the end, like it's an instrumental kind of part that jams back and forth. There's key
Oh, okay.
changes. It's cool. Yeah, it's pretty. That one's fun for me right now.
Do you do a lot of tempo changes
Yeah, not in that song, but in general, yeah.
from? Okay.
Usually my tempo change is just going faster, 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 but not
There you
always.
go.
Sometimes we do that. We'll build a song and then just drop it low. So yeah.
Okay. Do you try to
There's
do the songs near the same tempo as the CD versions, or do you like change it up a little bit?
It depends. Not intentionally. We don't always intentionally try to do that. We kind of take it like how we're feeling in the moment. Nothing with us is like really too regimented or
Okay.
orchestrated. You know, we're not like, oh, let's do like this slow. It just happens like there's really great energy in the crowd and like everyone's hyped up. So we're gonna like play it a little bit faster, you know, and then
Yeah.
but then like sometimes we realize it needs to be taken back and we'll do a slower tune, that kind of thing. So in our sets we'll play with the tempo changes, but within a song not so much. We usually kind of keep it
Okay.
rocking and
Yeah,
not.
yeah. Sometimes you get in trouble where like you're realizing like I don't the words are going too fast. It's too fast, man. Okay, we're gonna slow
Yeah.
it down. But you're
Yeah.
right, the energy you got to go off the crowd, and sometimes you just don't realize it. I guess because you're just,
Hmm.
it's in the moment. That's what is live music is great for. I think it's because it's like the CD stuff. It's like I can listen to it every time. It's gonna sound the same. You know what I mean? It's gonna be there for me. And then live music is like it's exciting. It's different. It's like when you were a kid. What did you first listen to, and what was like your first big concert you went to?
Oh well, so the first concert I went to that was a big concert, so it was Britney Spears actually at the
Oh my god.
TU. I forget what it was called then, but yeah, it was like Hit Me Baby One More Time era and all that fun and exciting stuff. So that's like my roots, you know, like
Yeah.
that girl pop music and all that like boy band kind of stuff. And I'm like, I have no shame about that, you know, like that's what
Yeah.
I
I
was
mean,
listening to. But I had my parents listen to really cool rock and roll, you know, they were like playing the Who and Zeppelin and all that. My favorite band that I when I really started getting into music, and this is not uncommon by any means, but like the Beatles, I'm just like, oh my God, this is where it's at, you know? So that's kind of when I was like, oh, the light bulb
yeah.
kind of went off, you know?
I can hear that in your music too, but you're drumming, and I got a very 60s 70s type vibe to a lot of stuff you guys do.
Hmm. Yeah, we do have some of that, like, some of it's like straight ahead rocking, and then we get a little bit of like psychedelia mixed in there
Yep.
sometimes. So,
Yeah, I read that psychedelic rock.
hmm,
What do you
yeah.
classify that as? Just it's like Pink Floyd, kind of a little more jammy ish.
Yeah, Pink Floyd, like those big sounds and spacey kind of
Yep.
sounds, I guess. It's more in the guitar, I think, and then the drums are keeping up with that
Yeah.
moment, you know, as far as that goes. But
I always think of like there's a note like every once in a while in some parts where there's like a
yeah,
noise, and then you'll hear like a meow. You're like, okay, and you know.
yeah.
Then there's like a whole two measures that go by, and you get bass
You
and
just like
drums.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
it's pretty much what it is. Yeah.
It's cool. It's cool. So you got, I mean, obviously you got to lock in with a bass player and stuff like that. But sometimes, do you find it hard being a drummer to lock in with a guitarist sometimes because they might be paying attention to something else or?
Not so much. They're paying attention to something else, but I'm paying attention to them. So like
Okay.
really, I usually don't find that. It depends on the guitar player. Like rhythm guitar I can lock in with, you
Yeah.
know.
Yep.
When Greg is soloing, like he can rip, you know. He's playing a bunch of notes, which is awesome. It's like bringing everything up. Uh that I'm not necessarily responding to. I'm just like holding it down for that.
Yeah.
Um
Yep.
and so I'm not playing off of it in those moments. But when we're jamming and it is a little more spacey, a little more psychedelia, I guess, I am responding to like some of their like, because both of those guys, like Greg is really big on a loop pedal. Sometimes he'll do that, and so
Oh,
I'll play
okay.
off the loop pedal if he's doing that, or like Eddie will just like hold it down for him, play certain licks on repeat for a few bars, and I'll lock in with that. So I and then yeah, bass player Jeff Picarazzi, he's rocking, and he's actually a very melodic bass player too, so which is a great mix with all of those guys.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I depending on what they're playing, I can lock in with all of them in different moments.
Usually the bass in that style is very notey, a lot of times.
Yeah,
Which
it
it's
definitely
it's
is.
almost
Yeah.
more than guitar, which is kind of weird. Sometimes the guitar is a lot more simple,
Hmm.
which I guess is cool too. It's
And Jeff is actually like his roots are jazz guitar actually. So we asked
oh, okay.
him to start playing bass for us, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I would love to do that." But like a lot of bass players, he was a guitar player by trade, and we like ripped him out of it and like convinced him to do something else. Which I am so grateful he said yes, and he's an awesome bass player, so it worked out for everybody.
Does he play with a pick bass?
Sometimes,
Sometimes,
not
yeah.
not all the time, but
All right.
he rocks a pick sometimes.
Yeah, I notice every guitar player, including me, that plays bass is pick pretty
Yeah,
much.
you got to stick to your roots, you know? Like,
Yeah, it just feels so weird. And you're like, what am I doing? Why is that even there?
yeah. Do you
So
play
it's
guitar and bass?
yeah, I play drums too, and
Oh,
I do
so
almost
you're one of those like prodigy people who can do it all kind of thing.
almost a lot of years of just practice. And I had friends and stuff over, and they'd leave their drum sets, they leave their bass instruments and stuff, and I go, it'd be okay if I just played on it a little bit in between. They go, oh yeah, man, whatever. But then I started recording everything, so it's um I don't know, to me it's you get more of a well-rounded view. You
Oh
kind of you
yeah.
kind of know what's going on. Like if I didn't
See where
know,
every part's coming from. Yeah.
yeah, like if you thought maybe you didn't know guitar and you just knew drums, I mean, you could know the rhythm part, but how does the music part work? You know what I mean? It's interesting. And like you said, songwriting. So you're not into songwriting?
I've not so much. I don't consider myself a songwriter. I've written a few songs, but like,
Okay.
just I'm not a songwriter in the band, that's for sure. And maybe that'll change, but
So the guy's
as of
like,
now.
we got a song, and let's do this. Let's jam it out. You put your take on it. Is that what you do?
Yeah, for the most part. And it's different too. So everyone in the band uh has their own input in the songs. Like no one comes to the table 100% with a fleshed out song. We got to do this, we have to do that.
Okay.
We'll have ideas and we'll be like, I would like if you do this, but it's always like taken with that person's when they are written out, it's taken with that person's playing style and views in mind. And then if we want to vary from that, that's completely okay.
Yep.
Um, so that's what's great about the band is like somebody will write the song, but we're all involved in the process overall.
Yeah. I think that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, for sure. And so like Eddie has the capabilities to do demos, so he'll send us recordings. He has like he can do all of that, whereas like Greg will play something on guitar and send it to us, like just the rough like a
Yeah.
skeleton of what he wants, so it's just it's kind of different for everybody.
Now going back, I seen you played at High Peaks, right? You had a couple videos out on your website, and
Mm-hmm.
they're really really good quality too, by the way. And
Oh,
I
thanks.
like your website, and I was gonna bring up too. Every show that you do, I think it's after the show. You put the place that you played at and your set list. I've never seen that before in the description somewhere. You know,
Yeah.
in the photo, which I'm like, that's a great idea.
Yeah. It's like a little like archive kind of thing, you know, just like to be able to reference, have that.
Yeah, because you ever look at photos, you're like, I don't know where that is. It's another live photo. But when I read that and I saw that, it kind of clicked. It was like, it was more of a memory thing, which was kind of cool.
Yeah, and I think that's the point of it, is like a little bit of nostalgia, and you can go back and like see where you were, what you were doing. I I am a big Fish fan, and I can never remember the set list exactly. So it's cool to be able to just like, oh, it's there, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
So, as far as drums, what type of brands and stuff do you use? I know I laughed my ass off. At the website here, you said you hold many trees in your hand.
yeah,
I was like, that is awesome. Never heard that before.
yeah. So the mini trees in question, as far as like what I play with are Vic Firths. I use 55As. It's a stick I use.
Oh, okay, yeah, same. I like those.
Oh yeah, yeah, they're good sticks because they got a little bit of length, but they're like thinner than a regular. And I've got small hands, you know,
Oh,
like
okay,
girl hands.
okay.
So it's like a little bit thinner of a shaft. So that's works out well for
Versus the
me.
regular 5As.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep. So
okay.
I think I don't know exactly. I think it's like the
Yeah, they're
same
little. I don't
length
know.
as a 5A, but then a little bit thinner than a
Yeah,
regular
yeah.
5A. So
They work pretty good on electronic kits too, because they're little.
yeah, I can see
You
that.
don't need a as huge or heavy stick for electronic stuff. So
Right.
that's cool. What about brand of your drum set? What do you use?
My kit is a Mapex Armory kit, which is I
Okay.
think a great kit for the amount of money you spend on it. And
Yeah.
Mapex is a killer brand anyway.
Yeah.
Uh, so I love my kit. I got it about 3 or 4 years ago, and I've just like loved it since I got it. I've had no issues, nothing,
Mm.
no problems. It's great.
I remember the sound of one. They sound really good. That was one of the sets that one of my friends left in my garage. And
Oh
I mean, we
yeah.
played hard rock metal stuff like Megadeth to Metallica, whatever.
Hmm.
But I remember that versus I had a CB drum set. That's what I started with, and I go, this thing
Yeah.
sounds like a tin can.
Yeah.
The
You can
Mapex are
make
good.
a you can make a CV sound good, like with tuning and everything, but it's a little more of a
Yeah,
project, you
it's
know?
hard. I mean, I use those. You use those plastic rings. I put all those on there. I put a
Yeah.
pillow in there. I did everything just to try to make it sound better. Yeah.
Yeah, but so yeah, no, the Mapexes are good kits. I actually have like a tiny kit, so you might not love it for like that big like death metal kind of stuff, but
Hmm.
I guess it's a fusion kit. So the kick is like 20 inches. It's just like tiny all around, you know,
I like the smaller ones
but
too.
yeah,
You
it's
can.
got great sound for that. Like it's not lacking at all for what the size is.
Yeah. You can roll a little faster. You don't have to reach as far, or that kind of stuff. So your toms
Yeah.
are like they're like 2 inches shorter too than
Yeah.
usual.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
hey, it works.
That's a good fit, yeah. But then I'm like, and then on the other hand, I have like this Paragon ride, and so that's like the biggest, heaviest ride cymbal I could find, you
Huge.
know? Yeah, and I think it's almost the size of my kick drum, but
There you go.
I love that thing. My hi hats are K's. I love those, and then my cymbals, my crashes, I vary out, but the one I usually use is actually a busted up. It has this big like chunk out of it, and that's a pasty. And I actually forget what it is exactly, but like I've had that. It was one of my first cymbals, and my uncle's almost also a drummer, and
Hmm.
that was his cymbal, but I got it from somebody else. So he owns a music shop in Delmar. Somebody he had put it out for sale. Somebody, my friend Tom LaFon, bought this cymbal, chunked it out, and then he was moving, getting rid of shit, gave it to me, and come to find out it's my uncle's cymbal, you know. So it was
Wow.
like this like weird like a full circle kind of thing. So I
Yeah, you were
really
meant to have it.
love that cymbal because of that. So
Where did the band name come from? Glass Pony.
Glass Pony. So are you familiar with the Ominous Sea Pods at all?
Nope. Nope.
They're basically an old school jam band out of Plattsburgh originally, Albany area, but they did like tours in this area and then out west. Like they were big in the scene for a while. And Brian Mangini is in that band. He plays keyboards, and his nickname when he was touring was the Dark Horse. And
Oh, okay.
so we all know him well. He's friends of ours, and we started calling ourselves Dark Pony in like reference to him, like doing open mics and that kind of thing, just in our jam sessions and all of that. We were Dark Pony. And then we decided we really want to be a band. So we're like, okay, we got to really do this. And you know, you do the Google search and everything. Dark Pony was taken. So
okay.
we're like, okay, what else could it be? And
It
then
sounds a little more like a rock band too, sort of, you know, like a heavy rock band.
It does, yeah. Like you're gonna be a little like more broody almost, you know, or whatever. So we went through a few like we just like tabled a few ideas. We went through a list, and Glass Pony is what stuck. So there's no real reason for the glass, but there's a reason for the pony, and it comes from the horse and all that. So
if it was Stone Pony, that would be like a country band.
well, we thought of Stone Pony, but that was a venue, I guess, in like, was it Jersey? I think Stone Pony was a venue. So we were like, well, that'll get all the internet hits. We can't like have that.
That's
that's
good,
actually
though.
a really cool name. We actually considered Stone Pony. So
yeah, it's maybe a little too country. That's when you think of that, you think of country.
Yeah.
Or at least Glass Pony, you don't really know. You know, it could be kind of this and this and this.
Yeah. Well, at first I was attributing it to glass animals almost, like, and I don't like think we're related, but that's like where my mind went to when I heard Glass Pony. I was like, well, is that too close to glass animals? But yeah, that's where we landed. Yeah.
You have a new music video as well on your website called Daydream, which is a new single, and you guys have supposedly an album working, and there's another single that's out too.
Daydream's the first single from this album.
Okay.
So that's like what we released. And we made the music video. We shot that in Del Mar. There's actually like this like bike trail that we shot this on, and then this big field.
You got some drone shots going in there. I seen that.
Yeah. I love the drone shots. I wasn't sure exactly how it all panned out. You know, you're like filming and you're not sure like how everything's going to be pieced together, but there's this drone shot at the end, and it just like it pans up and you see like the trees and the sun, and it's really cool. But yeah, so that's what we did for that, and I think that's a fitting it was fitting for the feel of the music, you know. It's like really kind of upbeat, kind of happy, sunny kind of music. So
yeah, remind me of the 60s music videos. Like if you
cool.
put some saturation and some of that, you know, film line grit and stuff like that, it would be very, very close. Which is like you said, it fits the song and the style. What's that song about?
Just like, I guess like just I didn't write this song. Eddie wrote this song. But as far as what it's about, I don't actually know. I should ask him what that song's about.
You put him on the spot. Be like,
yeah,
next
time. I know I don't want to say anything out of turn. You know what I mean? But I when I play it, I feel more like what I feel the song is about, like with what they're playing, and it's just kind of like.
It's a journey.
Happy. Like it's almost nostalgic, you know. It's like has a nostalgic feel to me. Like you're like kind of looking into the past. It's only a daydream, and I don't. It's a good question.
It's a journey thing, I think, a little more like that. Who made that, directed and edited it?
Eric Flores. He is the one who filmed that for us and edited it and directed all of that.
Okay.
So, yeah, really great guy.
Is that sound panels behind you?
Yes, red sound panels. So I'm in like our makeshift. So we've recorded in Eddie's house. That's where I'm at right now, just because it has better like a technology.
I can tell that you're talking. It's got that sound.
Yeah, that's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So yeah, there's sound panels in here. It's all red. It's a pretty cool room. But yeah, we've recorded in his house, and he does all his mixing, editing. This is where he's mixing our entire album, you know. So he does all that. Eddie Hoteling does all of our mixing. Then we send it off. We're gonna get it mastered at this place in Nashville by this woman that Jeff knows. Her name is Raylyn. She works at Infrasonic Studios, and I could have that slightly wrong,
I think I know
but
she is. I think because I've researched a lot of mastering people, and I'm
yeah,
like, because she's I want to say one of the only female masters out there. There's like two of them in
yeah.
Nashville.
And I've seen like videos of her, and before we even decided to use her, I've seen videos of her like talking about the process, how she works, and all that. And
Yeah.
randomly, Jeff is like, "Oh, I know this woman in Nashville," and he sent the video. It's like, "Oh, we have to use her." So anytime you can support a
Oh.
woman rocking out, it's like, I
Yeah,
guess
there's
very
very
cool.
few, female drummers, female producers. I see a little bit more now. Um,
Yep.
I'm not sure, but she might be the one that mastered some of the Foo Fighters records. I
Oh
think.
yeah.
I think
Oh
it's either her or the other one that I came across. There was only two,
yeah.
so
Oh cool. Well, that would be awesome. I know she. I don't know if she did it directly, but again, Fish. But she her studio worked on one of the Fish albums, so we're like, oh, that'd be so awesome,
okay. Yeah, it
So
might be her. It might be her. I think it was
yeah,
Wasted
I'll
Light.
have to, I'll have to
The
look at that. Yeah.
Yeah. That one record that did in their garage. They set up a studio and they did old school. They recorded on tape. The producer
Oh,
of
cool.
Nirvana and everything, and I was like, that's pretty cool. I mean, you guys record. Do you have sort of maybe a similar mindset of that where you want some of that old sound, or do you just do everything digital?
Uh, we everything's digital, so like it highly not overly edited, but like Eddie's spending a lot of time working on this, so it's not gonna have the dirty, gritty
Oh,
sound.
okay.
It's that's not what we're going for with this. But we
More.
recorded it at his sister's house actually. So we did set up in a home, like in her house. It's this like big entryway, so there's like it was echoey and like really like kind of reverberation.
Yep,
It was
high
cool.
ceilings for the drums and all that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you guys use like tube amps. I know I saw you use a Black Star stuff. I don't know if that was a bass player, guitarist, but they got some good stuff.
Okay. Yeah, that
Um,
I don't know about. I know they use tube amps, but I'm not too savvy
okay.
on the equipment for those guys, unfortunately.
Do you know if you guys mic the guitar amps and record them, or do you do some digital as well?
Yeah, no, oh yeah, sorry. So yeah, they mic the guitar amps. That's what they do. And again, like I'm not the recording pro.
Yeah,
I
I know.
worked on the drum stuff. But yeah, they mic'd everything up, and then same with the bass. I think they went direct with the bass for some things, but then we set up this big bass four actually where for the reasoning I don't know, but like we had his amp in the back and his cab, and we just like set up all these blankets around it and then set up a mic underneath all the blankets, that kind of thing. So
Okay, tried to
yeah,
isolate it. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
just to get an extra layer, a little extra
Mhm.
sound. Sometimes
See,
people
I'm
use it.
yeah, I can get a whole recording 101 from you right now.
Well, it's cool. That's what I like, and so I'm really really into that kind of stuff. So I'm always
Yeah.
asking, you know what I mean? Because tones are to get a unique tone is it's not difficult, but it's people do things different, and you know, so it's good. It's good. I think they did it that way. It's a mix. It's a good mix.
Hmm. Yeah. And there's intention behind all of it. I do think there's intention behind all of it. I just don't know what it was. So,
Yeah, probably maybe
but
something for the sound or the song. You know, like there was something from his amp that just they liked it for that song or something. You know,
yeah,
that's
for
cool.
sure. Yeah.
So what else you guys up to coming up? We got winter coming in here. We have holidays. You guys been pretty active this year too. I see.
We've been trying to as much as we can be and be like safe about everything. We've actually had to cancel a few gigs here and there just like
Mm-hmm.
out of like precaution. Um we're playing in Oneonta in November on the I think the 19th or the 14th. It's on our website, but that's the next thing we have going on. We're playing in New Year's Eve. We have a show up in Lake or in Saranac Lake. We're going to be playing up there. So it's a little scattered right now, a little thin, but we're trying to keep it going, as much as we
Yeah.
can.
Yeah.
right now.
Up here too, it's like during the winter, I feel like a lot of things slow down, and then spring hits and summer, and that's really, we only have like 4 or 5 months to really play out in good weather, and kind
Hmm.
of, I feel like, kind of make the money then, even though that's when everybody else does it, and then you're like, everything's booked or that sort of stuff. But
Yeah.
in the winter, um, I don't know. Do you realize? Do you think it's more private stuff, like you said, parties? The New Year's Eve kind of stuff, Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
If it's not a holiday, they're kind of not doing much. St. Patrick's Day.
Right.
You
It's more
know.
of like a yeah, an event kind of thing instead of
Yeah, yeah. Well,
just going
usually,
out to hang out.
yeah, usually you get paid a little bit more for holidays, so that, I guess, that's not bad. Usually.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it all depends. Like we're not too picky about what we're getting paid right now. We just want to play. So really, at the end of the day, it's what it's about.
is that because everything was shut down for a while, and you guys, you're like, we gotta play?
That's partially actually, and like not to like make it about money, but like we played backyard parties and we weren't expecting this at all. Like the first thing we did was like our guitar player's mom's backyard, and had people come to that, and it was that way we could all space it out and be safe about it. And we had a tip jar up front. We made more money playing that, like by people just throwing money in the tip jar than we made at any bar like in the past 2 years. Like
Yeah.
within reason. But like so that it's all kind of random. You take like $100, 150, $200 gigs here, and then get paid decent in other gigs, and it all kind of balances out.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, I don't know, with COVID and what happened to the industry and stuff. I mean, it'll bounce back eventually, but I think with the prices of everything going up and
Yeah.
gas, like that must be tough. Driving from a lot of places.
And like the whole like every bar, every like restaurant, they've been struggling. So it's just it's tough. So to go play somewhere for like just to play is easy to do right now because they're just trying
Yeah.
to pick it up too.
Do you
Everyone's getting back at it.
do you guys play online? You ever did an online show?
We did a few. We didn't have like a series or anything like that, but we did some online things. We did one with Mirth Films in the very beginning, and we did a couple there. We did a Palace Theater one, and then the one you referenced earlier, we did that. So we did a few, but they were awesome, and they were like really like cool production value. But it was weird to like end a song and not hear people, So
Yeah. Yeah.
like everyone's watching, but you're like, and it's just like silence.
You got the
But
energy. You're going like this. The song ends. You're like,
yeah, and yeah,
nobody around.
exactly, yeah.
Doing?
And you're like trying to channel it, like you're trying to realize, like I know they're there, I hear you, but
Yeah.
then it's like they don't.
I think some people get kind of shy and they're like, they'll play the song, and if they don't hear anything, they're like, was that good?
Yeah, well, and I think that was part of it too. We're like, okay, like now what? Like, how was that?
Yeah.
But no, it was fun. We did some of those. I give props to the bands who like did those consistently, because I think that was just an awesome thing to do. Keep people's spirits up.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually returned. There's a website called stageit.com. And I stopped doing shows like 3 years ago online because it was nothing. I mean, they've been around since 2011. I think I joined in 2013. But, it was always around, but people didn't really. They're like, well, we could just go see you live and all that. And I go, well, you live in Canada, so you can't exactly just come over.
Right.
But the COVID thing, I think, definitely helped with all the online stuff and websites like that. And that's why I came back to it, because I go, well, there's nothing else. Let's try it again. You know what I mean?
Right. Was that like, did that work out well? How did you feel like playing on that kind of forum?
I was blown away, because before when I was trying to do it, I would sell like 5-10 tickets, and I'd be like sitting there and be like this, the same people, which is fine, but I'm like, you want something new. And then maybe just as an artist too, you had 3 years to grow, and then all of a sudden this happens, and then I was very, very surprised. I was, to be honest, like, I would make more than playing out. So I was like, if I can play out for 40 minutes in my house and do that once a month for fans, it's almost better. You don't have to go
Right.
anywhere, and
Well, yeah, and
it's
it's
neat.
cool how accessible it is because like you can have people from, like I said, like Plattsburgh, the city, like you can have people just
Yeah.
watching, tuning in, and they don't
Yep.
have to travel, it's
Yep.
that's cool.
And some people still like that too, and I'm sure you guys have a few fans that are out of state, so you do those shows every once in a while for them, pretty
Hmm.
much.
Oh yeah,
But
and it's fun to get out and play, just like see different places and all
yeah,
that.
yeah, I do miss some of that. I don't miss some of the, I don't know what the hassle that goes along with it, or the we're not gonna pay you tonight, and you're like, what are you
Yeah.
talking about? And
Yeah.
well, you
Or like
guys are.
working with other bands and being like, okay, what's going on? What's the split? What's this? What's all that
Yeah,
stuff?
yeah. And they're like, did you hear that, dude? And we were supposed to get a pizza, and they said we're not eating tonight. Oh man. Or you
All
ever
I
had?
care about is the pitcher of beer, really, at the end of the day.
Yeah, yeah. You ever had the gig where they feed you and they're like, they say free food. You can order free food, and there's no
Mhm.
specifics. And you go out there and they're like, as long as you order. Let me see. $10 and under, we're okay. And you're like, no, that wasn't
Yeah.
part of the deal. You said free food.
Right.
You know what I
Get to
mean?
order off the menu. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
sometimes you gotta like, like really like
You don't want to
I
take
yeah,
advantage,
shake them
but
down. Right. Yeah, you don't want like people. You just want to like you're there to have fun with everybody, and it's just like
yeah,
if it's part of it, it's part of it.
yeah. I mean, I'm Italian. I love food, so I think anywhere that you play, they should feed you, and it's more than a
I do
nacho
feel like
platter.
if I owned a restaurant or a venue or a bar and there was somebody coming in to play music, I would be like, whatever you need, whatever you want.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. Definitely.
and I am very grateful when I go to a place and they are like that. So,
Yeah. It's rare. It was pretty rare before too, I think, but yeah, I don't know. All the good stories out there with all the bands on
mhm.
all different levels, from coffee shops to the huge stadiums. I'm sure they have a lot of things. For them, it's probably like, I asked for warm tea, damn it, and they gave me it cold, and
Yeah. I
you're like,
wanted wildflower honey. This is basswood
yeah,
honey. I don't know what is
yeah.
going
I
on.
wanted a steam towel. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm sure it happens, but I'm like, okay, buddy, okay, good
Our
for
rider
you.
is pretty strict. We're up there with strict riders. So,
There you go.
no.
Folks out there doesn't know what a rider is. It's not actually something that you ride. It's something that you kind of, I guess, ask the venue, like, here's our rider. This is kind of what we need. Like, I need tea, or I need a lot of water. I sing, I need a lot of water.
Yeah.
Do you
Or green M&Ms. What was the band that had the green M&Ms on their
yeah, I don't know.
rider?
There
Or
was a
like,
few of them that did stuff like
yeah.
that. Skittles, red Skittles or something. I don't know,
Right,
something like
yeah.
that. But when you one last question, when you drum, obviously water is great, but do you drink anything else? Because you actually don't sing, so you could get away with a lot of stuff.
Yeah, well, I actually do sing.
Oh, do you?
But yeah, I do. Sometimes I'm not the lead singer. I sing lead on one or two songs, but I drink. I'm not picky. I'll say that.
Okay.
I'll have a beer or two when I'm playing. So yeah, and I stay hydrated while I'm doing that. But
There you go. Stay hydrated, folks out there. So we got New York State
important.
Music in Motion here. Make sure you check out Glass Pony, all their stuff streaming on Spotify. They're on Facebook. They're on Instagram. I don't know. Do you have Twitter too? You guys on Twitter?
We don't have Twitter, but yeah,
Okay.
Instagram, Facebook, all of that, Spotify,
Okay.
uh, yeah, Apple Music.
All right. Make sure you guys check out, share, and comment all this stuff. We're on IGTV and Facebook and YouTube. And what I always say too is, don't just stream the music. Download the music, folks. Download it. Or get the CDs and T-shirts, that kind of stuff. Whatever you guys offer. I did
Come to the
see.
shows, dance.
Yes, I did see you guys have a band camp, and you got some CDs and a few things on there. So check all that stuff out.
Yeah, thanks. And thank you so much, Frank, for doing this. I appreciate taking the time and
No
New York
problem.
State music.
I'll see you guys out there some point. Maybe we'll play a show together someday, or
Yeah, we would love that.
I'll jump in for something.
You're more than welcome. You're welcome up there with us.
All right. See you guys later. Thanks very much. NYS Music. See you later.